So, and corporations are the bad guy. They don't care about you.
Well, they marked your first one up so much that you should have been able to afford two anyway, so.
They don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do. Give a fuck about you or anything you do.
No, I know.
You little stupid ass bitch. They ain't fucking with you. You little dumb ass bitch.
Fucking with me.
It's a song. It's an actual song.
Yeah, it is. No, yeah, I don't know. My coworkers all like about had a heart attack because they came at the same time, and I got my stuff delivered to work, and they were like, "You're gonna fucking return it." And I was like,
"You're one of those people."
What?
That gets shit delivered to work.
Oh, I live in an apartment, and I'm not home. And they would have, and my monitors when they came, my two fucking like $300 monitors were just the monitors. There was no box around them, and that would have just been left in front of my apartment.
But you're giving shit back. You must think that people do the right thing.
I don't have to
believe shit! Holy shit! Jim knew what he had there. Jim knew what he fucking had there.
I don't have to believe that other people do the right thing to do the right thing myself.
Yeah, you do.
No, no, I don't.
Jim's got you there, Tarzan. Yeah, you do.
No, but then it made me really mad because I wasn't like expecting anything, but the lady didn't even say like, "Oh, thanks," like for doing that, like. Fuck you! Wait, I instantly went into like fuck you mode.
But that means that you'll only do a good deed because you like the way it makes you feel.
Maybe you're not
afterwards
as good as you think.
That you want people to congratulate you for just doing a good deed. The good deed should itself be the congratulation.
I guess
you should just return it, and then the good feeling is like I'm returning it. I don't care if they care, but the fact that you do care, just makes you human. I'm just making that point. I'm not actually going after you.
Yeah. So if she had,
we all complained when we did the second turnt tots because we brought 3 fucking grocery carts full of toys and 2 bikes, and we're like, did they thank us enough?
Yeah, they didn't really thank us.
But
as much
see,
as we wanted.
It doesn't change the fact that you still did it for the right reason, but you have the right to be annoyed that they didn't fucking like. It's like, hey, like it's one of those things you think back to.
I
and
mean,
you're
going out. Yeah, you're going out of your way to.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I was making the fake ass fucking devil's advocate point everyone makes.
And this is why you suck at it, because you can't stick to character, bro.
Sorry, bro.
You can't speak truth to power, can you?
Yeah,
Are you talking about Bilamos, Mike?
Yeah, I'm talking about Bilamos.
One of the biggest regrets in my life, and I still think about this to this day, when I first moved out here to Las Vegas from Massachusetts, by the way. Don't know.
Do you mean lost wages?
Yeah, here to Lost Wages.
What happens here stays here, guys.
Yeah, from Faggotschusetts.
Whoa. Hey, Jim, you better not tell anybody what happens here, because you know what happens here, right?
Stays here, just like me.
Yeah. Whoa, Jim's the fucking the proof that proves the rule.
12 years ago, I moved out here with my friend from back home. He didn't make it, by the way. He did move back east, but originally it was myself and him. And first we stayed at like the ghetto budget suites until we found a spot to like an apartment. So we stayed there for about a month. And then we ended up getting an apartment up the street. And then so we're like, all right, now we got a place. We got to go buy furniture and shit. So we're like, all right, we're going to focus more on getting stuff for our living room and shit, and then we'll just get something cheap for our bedrooms. Like, we'll just go to Walmart and get some air mattresses for now or whatever.
By the way, I love this story because it's like, wow, how is this leading to his biggest regret? I love this.
Also, that would have been the opposite. I would much rather have a nice bed and a shit living room.
I go the other way because I like to have a comfy spot, like because we're playing like as far as in the living room, that's where we're gonna be like watching movies, hanging out and stuff. But either way, I get both sides. So like, all right, so we go to Walmart and we're gonna get some air mattresses. So they're at the time. I mean, I'm sure they're probably a lot cheaper now. At the time, they were like $200, and it was like this big air mattress set, and it was so big, like we'd like put it in the cart and like go through, pay for it, and then go back and get another one. So we get it, and we got some other shit. So we pay for one, go back, get another one, and then we ended up back in. It was like it just happened that we ended up in the back in the same line. And we're paying for all our stuff, and then she's like, "Oh, that'll be blah blah blah," and I'm thinking like, "Oh, she didn't ring," and I'm like, "Oh, did you get this too?" And as soon as I said it, it's like, "No, no, don't ring this up too. That's $200." No! Why did I say, did you get this? Because the lady was like...
Teacher, you forgot to give us homework.
Because if you're not following what I'm saying, it's because she was like, oh, hey, you guys again. I'll get some other stuff. And she rang everything but the mattress because she's like, oh, they already paid for that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, it's the. Did you get this too? And immediately, I just wanted to fucking die. And I think about it sometimes. Sometimes I'm laying in bed and I'll think, ugh, when I fucking said, did you get this too? And then we had to pay another $200. We could have got a free mattress.
Because it's like $200 that you spent fucking 12 years ago.
Yes. Well, because at the time, and I mean, I've talked about this on the show. Not at that time. At that time, we still had a bunch of money. But, you know, I went through some bad times out here when I first got out here. I mean, I had a good amount of money. I'm no, like, this is an inside joke for people that no one's going to know. I'm no J-Fron, Jeff's friend, who...
Whoa, you're not a star tender?
Who just drives out to Vegas with nothing and then hopes... Like, we had money, but, like, you know, things got a little rough here and there. And that's $200. Oh,
yeah, but he knew
God.
the future because he saw it in the stars, Jim.
Yeah, that's true. Who's on the line?
Oh my God! I just blind called in, and you're talking about J-Tron. What the
Good
fuck?
call. Good shit.
Well, we're talking. I mean, can you please call him by his God-given name?
Oh, the star tender.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Jeff.
Well, what I really called in about, you guys were trying to get an interview with Hood Gnome, right?
Oh yeah, we were looking for Hood Gnome.
Do you got the hookup?
Huh?
You got the hookup?
Yeah, I got him on the line right here. Give me 1 second. Let me patch him through.
All right.
What's up, Nizza?
Is this Hood Gnome?
What's poppin'?
What's up, Hood Gnome?
I was about to pull up on that little ass.
Hey, how's your career going, Hood Gnome?
Oh, this is stuff and puzzles. You know, I just uploaded to a new tree, my nigga.
Sweet. That's great.
We lost connection with Hood Gnome, but I think we'll see him next week, probably.
I think we got enough. I think we got enough so that at least we can put together like a cool thing and be like, hey, everybody, we got Hood Gnome on our show.
I accidentally did that voice, so I was talking and burping at the same time, and I was like, wait a minute.
Hood Gnome.
I mean, but
see,
yeah,
Thorsten, you can't come up with a character to save your
show.
life, and Jeff comes up with the characters when he accidentally burps.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Step up, Kristin. Step up to the Hood Gnome, dude. But I will see you guys next week. Spoilers, whoa.
Cool.
Wait, do we have a show next week?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Whoa, spoiler alert, Murph.
No, spoilers. All right. Well, you guys stay greasy.
All right, tell Hood Gnome we said what up.
All right, later.
Bye.
But yeah, man, that fucking air mattress. I still think about it. I can't believe I said, "What did you get this?"
But see, I'm always asking. And when they miss something, I always ask. I always make sure they got it.
I mean, we learned from that because that was, back in those days, it was always the old like, put the fucking 30-pack of beers on the bottom. Don't say shit. Free 30-pack.
Word.
That's what we had to get the.
And then they added mirrors because of people like you.
I'm going to take the $200 out of your ass, Walmart. Who do you think you are, motherfucker?
Yeah, you do steal groceries every once in a while when you have to wait too long.
Oh, well, that's not stealing.
So you got your money. Well, no, I'm saying you got your money back.
When we were putting the beer under the cart, that was stealing. Like nowadays, there's a time tax.
Nope. Still not a thing.
Now it's a time
tax.
tax.
Still not a thing.
And plus, it's just a sale because if it's a $5 item, I just spent $40. Spread that $5 out amongst the rest of the items I bought. It's like taking 50 cents off this, 50 cents off that, and it all evens out. It's a sale.
It's like coupons.
Not
it
like
is.
that
It's
at
just
all.
like coupons.
Not like
it's just that new coupon.
It's not like coupons.
It's that 2017 coupon, my dude.
Yeah. None of this is a thing.
Hell yeah.
Yo, dude, you got that
You're
new
a thief.
coupon? Like you're like walking in the store, hey, dude, you got that new coupon?
You are a thief.
You're fucking like
Well,
eyebrowing.
deal.
Well, oh, how the mighty have fallen because finish your fucking processor story, Mrs. Goody Two Shoes.
Well-
Goody Two Shoes.
Good. I don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well,
Jim, play that song.
Yeah, we will.
Come on, you know the Jim and them rules, Jim. If a song comes up, it must be played.
the girl never sent me the return label, so I'm just gonna wait and make sure they never follow up on it. And if they don't, then that's the end of that.
Well,
because
I
you know
feel
what?
like
I already made an effort. I'm not gonna fight them
hold
to return
on.
it.
You need to look up the definition of effort. You
Oh,
clearly,
tell me.
Wait,
Tell
the
me
dictionary?
definition.
yeah. Clearly, we need to get to. You're not on strike 3. You're out. You're on strike 1 right now.
No, this is strike 2, first of all. Because the first time
Okay, well then I'll give you strike 2.
They didn't fucking send it to me the first time. That's why I ended up with 2.
You know, I'll give you that. Strike 1. You still are not on strike 3.
Strike 2 was the girl not saying thank you.
No.
And then strike 3
Now-
was her
no,
not
that's
clearly
Oh, no, now
like,
you're
well,
trash.
Now you're trash.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're real
Yeah.
trash. If you're honestly counting that as strike 2, you're trash.
And if you're counting that,
You're
you
worse
better
than
buy.
you're-
You better buy into time tax.
yeah, you're
like a mother.
No.
that's your version of time tax.
Yeah.
Just like,
No,
she didn't
no,
say
no,
thank you.
It's not time tax.
No.
Thank you is not because that person is just one person. You're taking from the whole company.
Good side.
Oh
good
no,
side.
the whole
you were taken
mega
from-
corporation.
If you were taking just from her, that would be a strike 2. But no, you're taking from the whole company.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, you're on strike 2.
No, okay.
So if you don't go for strike 3, you should give one quick follow up, like, "Hey, never got that label. You got that label?" And then that's strike 3, and then yeah.
Okay, I'll call in.
Then
I won't
you
give them my
donate it.
information. I'll be
Yeah,
like,
you-
I just never got my label. Thanks,
Yeah,
bye.
you're-
And I
those
hang
are
up.
both flimsy strike 2s.
Yeah. And then after strike 3, you got to donate it to the YMCA so they could build a computer for the homeless to apply for jobs.
Yeah,
Jim.
the homeless
I mean,
need
yeah,
an
Thorsten.
i7.
Actually, you know what? You should just buy all the other parts, build a computer, then donate it.
Yeah.
Then you're a good person. Otherwise, you're a piece of trash.
I'm only a good person if I make a YouTube video of me donating it, and then
Well, yeah, you should do that too.
Well, yeah, you need everyone to know you did it, or else Harry's supposed to feel good.
You know what you should do is put the processor on a string and leave it on the street and like pull it away when people are trying to get it.
I imagine I put a fucking processor in front of a homeless person. And like, what is this?
The best date I ever went on. I don't know why this reminded. I kind of reminded. Know why. I went on a date with this girl when I was probably in my early 20s. We met each other at MGM Grand because I was kind of near there and she was, and we only wanted to take one car. And we walked out of MGM Grand, and there's a $100 bill just sitting on the ground.
Ugh.
And we both look at each other and we're like, is that a $100 bill? But then I was like, shit, are we on a game show? Are we going to look like scumbags? Is it going to get pulled away? And she's like, I think you're right. And so I was like, I'm not even going to grab it. She's like, well, don't not grab it. Let's go grab it. Even if we're on a game show, maybe they'll still give it to us. So we walked over, and I reached, and it was the most stressful 3 seconds of my life when I go to reach for it. I'm like, is it going to get yanked away at the last second? Am I going to be a fucking piece of shit? And I grabbed it, and it was in my hands. And it didn't get yanked away.
Oh, nice.
So we went to Tower Records before they got closed down, and we bought a bunch of manga and CDs.
Oh,
boom,
nice.
You squandered it.
It was $100 free dollars. We went to TGI Fridays. That was right next to the Tower Records. And we went to Tower Records. We both bought 2 CDs we liked, and then we both bought some manga. And it was fucking fantastic. It was the best date I've ever been on in my life.
That's rad, though.
Did you have any thoughts, though, of that person that had that moment of like, where's that 100?
I did wonder. I've always been like, it's probably just some fuck who was going to gamble it away anyway.
Well, now you're the she didn't say thank you.
No, I'm fine with that, though. I'm openly, I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel less bad because I'm sure
Because
it
in
was,
reality, it was someone that's like,
Maybe.
fuck
It was someone on
my-
a Make-A-Wish trip.
yeah, but I don't want to feel like.
Well, it wasn't that, but it was just a regular person that's like, fuck my gas bill.
But to make myself
That
feel
was my
better,
gas bill.
I tell myself it was a fucking gambler.
yeah.
And to be honest, I'm on board with that because you're never gonna find that person on the strip. That person's probably drunk and doesn't.
Oh,
know
I'm not.
fucking
I'm
lost
saying
it.
it more reminded me of Jim's put it on a piece of string
Oh,
and
yeah.
drag it away.
No, you bring it inside and you turn it into security.
And then security's like, thanks, and puts it in their pocket.
Yeah.
Well, that's very cynical way of thinking.
At Game Crazy, whenever people would find money and bring it to us, we'd be like, sure, we'll put that in the back of my fucking pants in my pocket, bitch.
No, that's a very cynical way of living. Oh man,
We'd always get fucking. We'd be like, yeah, we'll go see if we can figure anything out for you. Let's go buy some fucking orange
Well, what's
chicken
the-
from that fucking Chinese place nearby.
What's the rule on the bag of money? It's usually you gotta wait like 5 days or something before you can keep it.
I think you turn it in
you
and
turn
they
it
hold
in.
it for 5
Wait, what
Yeah.
bag of money are we talking
The
about?
old, the old question when you find a bag of money, what you're supposed to do with it.
Oh, I'll let it change my life immediately. How about that? That's my answer. I'll let it instantly change my life as I spend it on things I need.
But I mean, just
You're
let it
gonna
be.
change your life to ruin someone else's.
No, I'm fine changing my life and just pretend like my life is at times so bad that I am super okay with like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna run my air conditioning this month. I'm gonna have a car that won't kill me at any
Yeah.
given time.
So you wish that upon someone else.
No, because if they lose their bag of money, in most cases they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, here's the bag of money back. Here's insurance.
Yeah, they have FDIC.
Yeah.
Have you ever read that sign at the bank? It says
Nope.
insured up to like 150,000.
Most people.
Sure, your bag of money.
Yeah, I know.
If you lose
it's not
a bag of
insuring
money,
that bag of money.
If you lose a bag of money, in most cases, you'll get that bag of money back. You're not a fucking pauper, fucking like me.
Although, yeah, if you put this fucking processor on eBay before strike 3, anything good you've ever done in your life has been for nothing.
You.
It's been
No,
for
fuck
naught.
you.
No, sorry.
You know what good I did? I've never fucking stolen from a grocery store, Jim.
Neither have I.
That's not true. Also, Thorsten, I bet you've stolen at least once.
Yeah.
No, I've never stolen anything.
Ever in your life.
No.
Even
Why
as a
would
kid,
I steal anything?
even
No.
as a dumb
Well,
kid,
then I
dumb
feel
kids
bad for
steal
you.
all
You
the
should.
time.
You should. As a kid, you should steal.
Why
If
should
any
you
kids
steal?
are listening to this, you should steal. When you're a kid, yeah, that's when you should steal.
You should never steal.
No.
It's
yeah.
not yours.
No.
No, I sort of
What?
know where Thorsten's coming from because I remember I would never steal, and Jake would walk into Best Buy and steal Game Boy Colors and games, and I'm like sitting there like, wish I had a Game Boy Color in a game. He's like, yeah, I got one by stealing.
Fuck that piece of shit judging us for drinking waters and putting them back. Fucking Game Boy thief. Fucking little Game Boy thief. Fucking.
Yeah, he'd steal from Best Buy. I think I brought this up on the show before. He would steal like expensive things all the time, and I was just like, I was always bummed out because I'm like, I can't bring myself to steal, but like, I wish I had cool stuff too.
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, I think I've talked about this on the show. When I was a kid, when I was in like middle school, we would steal.
No,
But
that's when he did.
you're
That's when Jake did it.
that's
We
when
were
you're
in-
supposed to steal.
We were in middle school.
Yeah, I had Mortal Kombat 2 in every system because we stole it, and it's like it's not my fault. We go into the old Ames department store and we walk in electronics and no one's in there, and it was one of those. It was almost like when you're in a fucking running through the store shit. Like when you're like, oh, we don't have much time. Grab what we can. And it was like, let's get these fucking games from behind the counter. Mortal Kombat 2 on every system. Let's get some CDs. Let's get this shit. Hell yeah. And it was great.
Jake had the limited edition.
Some of my fondest memories.
Jake had the limited edition blue and yellow Pokemon Game Boy Color, and I was like so jealous. I was so jealous. Because I had my old Game Boy Color I got for my birthday when I was like in elementary school, and the D-pad didn't work very well, and the screen was covered with scratches. I was just like, oh man, he's got this fucking amazing Game Boy Color. I was like, maybe I should steal, but then I was like, no, I shouldn't steal.
David Thomas got the fucking point of the century. You ever torrent anything, Thorsten?
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got me.
Then you're a dirty thief.
I'm a dirty thief.
That's no
you got
different than me stealing Mortal Kombat on disc or on cartridge, I should say.
It's
Yeah.
money out of someone's pocket, Thorsten.
Okay, you got me.
It is.
You really nailed me there.
I don't though, because torrents are confusing. So I've never done. They seem bafflingly difficult. So I've never bothered torrenting.
I mean, and after there was that point when we walked in electronics and there was no one in there. So yeah, we grabbed a bunch of games. But that did just kind of like your first hits free. Like let's steal shit now. And I was just coming up with plans like now someone's in electronics, but like the game's to the side a little bit of the counter. So it's like, all right, one of us stand there and like take it down and look at it and then just hand it back to the person behind you. Go into the garden section, get like hedge clippers, like little handheld ones. We cut the plastic things off the CDs, take the CDs.
Most people don't know what you're talking about, right?
Oh, yeah,
now.
exactly. But that's what I mean. So, hey,
I didn't even think about that.
we're stealing CDs the old school way. So it's no
would you
different
call
than
that-
your torrenting.
Would you call it your stealing phase, Jim?
Yes, yeah, that was in middle school. It was from like 7th grade to like the next year because then we got caught.
Dude, that's super weird. There's a girl at my work, and today she was talking about when she went through her stealing phase in 7th and 8th grade. And I was like,
Yeah.
stealing phase?
Oh, yeah.
What a ridiculous term. And now, Jim, you're talking about your stealing phase, 7th and 8th grade.
Yep.
I had a couple of
I'm
friends
the
who went
fool.
through it, and I was like, "You guys are stupid. You're gonna get caught." And then they got caught.
Yeah, we
Jake
got caught.
never got caught. He got away with every single one of them, and he wound up with tons of cool, expensive stuff.
Oh yeah, because you start getting too like bold. You just fucking like because we would go
Where you're
into
test driving a car, and then you shoot the person that was in the car with you.
we didn't get caught doing this, but we go into Ames and like grab candy and drinks and then just eat them and drink them and then go to the backpack section and put all the trash in the backpacks. I was a fucking genius.
Wow, dude, that is fucking some. That is some
We didn't
next
get caught
level
with
shit.
that, and then we go into Christie's or Styes as it's known to be called. Now it's 7-Eleven.
Are these small businesses or chains?
They're East Coast chains from then. Christie's was like a small chain in Massachusetts. It's a 7-Eleven now, so they got bought out. But at the time, it was Christie's. And, yeah, we go in, steal wrestling magazines, get sodas. You just put them by the door. Just grab them real quick on your way out.
Wait, What do they say when you walk up to the door and put a soda dam next to it?
They're like not paying. They're ringing people up. They don't see what you're doing. But so then it's like when you go by the door, like the way it was is, I mean, their register was by the door, but it was like they're looking this way and the door's to their left, and you're walking out that way. And there was like a little like kind of doorway that they would walk into, like a half door, so you wouldn't see what's on the floor right there. So it would just be, it would probably look weird because we're like scooping down as we walk out. But yeah, just grabbing sodas and shit. Because when you're a kid, especially like we didn't have the internet, so we were just riding our bikes around and like it's fucking hot out. We don't have money, but hey, we want Mountain Dew and
drink
candy.
From the fucking hose like a normal kid.
When me, Jake, and my
you didn't drink from a hose, you stupid fucking internet.
Are you fucking
millennial piece of
are
shit?
you
No, I drank
serious?
from hoses constantly.
I mean, we did too, but I'm just saying sometimes you don't want to drink from a hose. I know this piece of shit didn't drink from a hose.
You talking about
yeah,
me?
playing fucking Warcraft your whole life.
No, fuck you. Get fucked. I grew up with a big fucking empty desert lot behind my house that I played in constantly. This is like when fucking Jeff tried to tell me I didn't know anything about skateboarding.
Well,
fuck you.
Well,
fuck
you
you. None of you know anything about how I fucking grew
You
up.
should have
Fuck
taken. You should have taken control of your life, and you would have had a couple more sodas and drinks every now and then.
When Jake, our friend, and I used to walk home from middle school, they used to go to this place we called the Deli. It was just like this deli convenience store, and they would always just rob that dude blind. Like, it was insane, dude. Because we'd walk in there with our backpacks, and I would never steal. I would always feel like a sucker. But I'm not fully innocent, because I'll admit I'd always buy what I was going to buy, like a candy bar, maybe a soda or something. And then I'd leave, and then they'd both open up their backpacks with, like, fucking, like, no joke, like 9 sodas,
well, you
100
probably
candy
enjoyed
bars.
the fruits of the
Well,
labor.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Sure,
I'm not completely innocent
so you're
because
not really innocent
Jake
at
and
all.
Jake and we called him Nee. His name was Anthony.
Well, and at the very
they would
least,
both give me something, and I'd be like, "Well, shit, I wouldn't have asked you to do this, but I'm a little kid and I want these treats, so I'll let you give them
and
to
plus,
me."
at the very least, you were an accomplice because someone has to buy something.
But that's not why I was doing it.
Either way, you were still the guy. You were still like everyone knows this. Everyone that steals stuff.
I didn't.
Because even when we were stealing stuff, I'm saying you may not have known, but you still were.
It never occurred to me that that's what I was doing.
Well, you were. So you're an accomplice. It's like you stole. You did.
Well,
I have drank from
that's
and
going
you enjoyed
far.
the fruits of the labor.
No, don't get me wrong. I admit I enjoyed the fruits of the labor, but I didn't know it was happening.
I have drank beers from beer runs that my friends did, so that's the thing.
Well, yeah. Plus, we've already been over all the torrenting you've done.
I was so innocent
Yeah,
that I
that's
thought
true.
a beer run just meant, hey, let's go buy some beer.
Well, I always thought
didn't
that's
know-
what it was too.
I mean, it is
I didn't
that
know it
unless-
meant they were stealing beer.
It is that unless you're in high school. If
to
in
me,
high
I'm-
school they're doing beer runs, they're stealing.
No, beer run was always just getting beer, but I could totally see how, it would be stealing, I guess, as well. We always just paid someone to get beer.
Fishing. That's
Yeah.
what they call it these days, or when I was in high school, that's what they called
They
it.
call it fishing?
Yeah, you
Stealing beer?
you'd fish for an adult to buy you beer.
Oh.
So we would either
I
decide
can't remember
whether
the
we're
last
gonna-
time that happened. You just I remember when I was a teenager and then slightly older teenager, you used to hear it and see it all the time. They must have some way to buy without needing it anymore, just like without needing people anymore, because like it's not like you don't see anyone ever asking like, hey, can you buy me cigarettes, or hey, can you buy me beer?
Well, I think they just have a different hookup. Like with
Yeah.
between having a phone and social media and stuff, it's probably easier to get a hold of X's older brother.
That's what I'm saying. There
or
must be
whatever.
some easy new
Oh,
trick
yeah, that's
that I'm
what
just not aware of, because you just don't ever see that anymore.
Because it was usually that on our end, but it was just that it was always hard to like, oh, blah blah blah's brother can. It's like, where is he? We can't find him. And, But nowadays it's like, oh hey, we'll just fucking shoot him a text or a Facebook message, and we'll hear back from him later or whatever the
right.
fuck. But no, any young people listen, yeah, go through your stealing. You
Nope.
should do it.
Don't do it.
Absolutely.
You should.
No harm, no foul.
And don't do it.
Don't steal from like a person. Like don't steal from just like don't like break into someone's house. But go to
What
a
if you think it's a
7-Eleven.
bank though?
I mean, if it's a bank, yeah, you could break in, of course. And don't break into the Asian people's houses who keep the convenience store in their house instead of a warehouse. But no, steal a soda, steal some beer, live life. Live it up. It's going to be some of the greatest memories you've ever had.
Nope. When you go to Chipotle and you ask for a water cup, you put water in it.
Oh,
and water
yeah,
only.
I'm against that too. Don't be asking for a water cup
What a-
and putting
what
soda
a
in
fucking
there.
stance! What a stance, Jim! All this shit, but no, you better use your water cup for water.
I mean, I guess if
that's
you're a
the
kid-
line too far.
Well, if you're a kid, maybe. I'm not gonna shit on a kid for doing it, but if you're a grown ass man,
if you're an
that,
adult, you can afford a fucking drink. McDonald's, every size is $1.
unless you had to wait a really long time.
No.
But like, not just one of those because they're busy, but like they're clearly fucking around. You know what I'm talking about. You know that shit. You know when it's our. You know when they're giving you the signal. Basically, they're giving you the like, hey, we don't care. Steal from us. We don't even care enough to get you out of here in a timely manner. Time's important. Time is more valuable than money.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes. Are you kidding? You've ever heard time is money, Thorsten? You need to fucking grow up.
You're right. Thanks, Jim.
You need to really fucking grow up. You know, you're only here on this earth for X amount of minutes. So those are just ticking away, tick, tick, tick.
Better steal while you can.
Yeah, you're not gonna be on your deathbed remembering all those sodas you paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim proved the point that you will be sitting there lying awake at night trying to fall asleep and remembering the time you almost got a free mattress but didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Almost got free $200.
He's tortured to this day.
Yeah, and I'll be on my deathbed.
Still fucking furious about that. I can't believe it. I can't believe we paid for that shit. What I could have done with that 200.
Oh yeah,
200 for me. Well, I guess it would have been 100 each. But hey, $100 off.
Nah, he didn't have to know.
Yeah. Shit. So don't listen to Thorsten.
No, do
listen to me.
Nope, don't listen to Jim.
Yep. Explain yourself. Explain yourself on this torrenting thing. I really need to know.
Wait, me?
No, Thorsten.
Oh, on torrenting? I don't know.
It's a faceless, victimless crime that you've decided is okay because no one knows you're doing it.
Well, first, I don't even really do it anymore. Now that stuff is more, I can access it. I can access it.
Well, that's not the question. I mean, I
rent-
understand that because I don't really torrent a lot of stuff as much anymore, anyways. Because I have Hulu, I have Netflix, all that shit. But in the past, answer for your crimes.
Answer for my crimes. I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see it as I just don't see it as wrong.
Wow.
I never
But like
torrented music.
everything you would have that you were torrenting, you would have had to buy otherwise. So that's literally money, like direct correlation.
So I lived with my parents. My parents paid for cable. I just wasn't home when all the shows I wanted to watch were on, so I torrented them. So they were still getting their money.
You know what? I would buy. I buy that.
Yeah.
So, but you've never torrented a movie then? It was strictly TV shows.
I've torrented movies that were so bad I wouldn't have seen them. Usually.
What about ROMs of old video games you never bought?
Actually, all the ROMs that I've ever downloaded from old video games are games that I've already played, but I just didn't want to like bust out my Game Boy and play it on there. I'd rather just play it on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gray area, but I'll give it to you. But still, the movies have already solidified it. You're not as moral and good as you think you are.
Okay.
Just
All right.
know that.
I'll go to sleep knowing that.
No,
Jim.
you won't go to sleep. You'll be laying in bed and you'll be about to fall asleep and you'll remember my
I'll
voice.
be lying on my deathbed thinking about all the movies I torrented.
But I'm not. But see, but I'm agree. I think it's great. Torrent and steal everything. That's what I. That's what I say.
No.
Torrent it all. But I mean, hey. But I pay for it as well. So there you go.
I don't know how you guys figured out how to torrent things. It seems so complicated.
Dude, it's like the easiest thing.
It
No,
is very
It's
easy.
but it's the reason why.
It seems insanely complicated.
But it's also the reason why like it gets cracked down on because they'll only go after things once they're so easy. Once like a fucking someone's auntie that just like shares cat memes is easily getting like Drag Race and stuff. They're gonna be like, all right, we need to shut this shit down. And that's why like Cody is probably in very much danger because now everyone knows about Cody and it's so easy to just buy like a Fire Stick on eBay or whatever. Cody's like a medius.
Oh, I thought you were talking about EDOC. Like
no,
he's always torrenting things, and so he's going to be in trouble soon.
Yeah,
No, Cody's like a media center. It's by itself. It's just a regular program. It's just it helps, it'll organize your media files, music,
it's like a
whatever.
Roku, but an app.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's open source. But yeah, people make it where it links up to different servers, so you could just easily do a search, find something, and start watching.
Oh,
it.
those like what are they called? Homes.
It's like a home media center.
Well, there's a word for it though. Like
It's like a homebrew on a DS.
well, no. I mean, just it's called when someone has like they have their own little thing and you can connect to it. It's called a home something, a home
server,
like a NAS, network attached storage.
I didn't know it was server. I thought it was another word.
Well, because my thing is I use Kodi and I'm still like technically stealing stuff, but I'm not doing it the noob way. Because the noob way, they can easily kind of catch you now. Because if you just search something, click on the link, and it starts playing it, technically they could just probably find your IP and just get you shut down. I download shit from news groups and just have everything cataloged on my computer in a server, and then I can just view it on any of my devices or whatever. It's a little bit more on the DL.
A little advanced there.
Yeah, you got to set some shit up. You got to know your stuff. But Kodi, like, because now I'm seeing everyone, like, just dumb shits from back home that are, like, talking about it. And people are in for a hard come down on that, I feel like they're going to go after that big time.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Because
especially on their site now, they have, like, we don't endorse streaming.
Yeah, and I've noobed out sometimes and had Cox shut me off because I accidentally left a torrent going. And they found me and basically were like, you were downloading fucking... Well, there was something I downloaded.
That can actually happen?
Yeah. Like, all of a sudden, my internet's not working, and I'm like, shit. And I just have to call and, like, play dumb. And I'm like,
my network
what?
doesn't have a password.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm like, oh, what? Yeah, I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, I guess I gotta put a password on my Wi-Fi or whatever. Or, like, we had company stay over or some shit. Because, yeah, if it happens enough...
that seems insane.
If it happens enough, they'll fucking probably just take your internet privileges away.
Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
And then you'll have to get CenturyLink.
Yeah.
That seemed like a thing you'd only see in movies.
Yeah, I mean, because it's basically the big no-no. Because usually if you just download something and close it out, you're probably going to be fine. What they're looking at are the people sharing shit or seeding it for torrent speak. Because you're the one actually supplying it to someone else. Because the whole thing with torrents is just that everyone downloads it, but you're all sharing it, kind of like kind of like the old like
Napster and
like
LimeWire
Napster
and stuff.
type, yeah, like a different version of that. And so what they'll do is they'll check for that, pull a bunch of IPs, and then report you all to your ISP or whatever. And I'm pretty sure with a lot of Kodi uses like a combination of sometimes it's torrenting a file or sometimes it's just downloading it from some public server or whatever, or even sometimes it might be sharing it, and they can kind of pick up a lot of that. So,
but the catch is that you can't just download it and then not seed it, because a lot of the places that you would get it require you to have an even 1-to-1. Like, you need to upload as much as you download.
Well, that's when you're on a private. Well, I guess it's not always that private, but a lot of those are a little safer because you kind of have to get invited or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still, obviously, you can get caught. But if I'm sometimes it'll be something I can't find anywhere else, and I'll try to get it on a public one, and then you can get fucked.
So you guys see how fucking complicated this sounds? Am I wrong?
Well,
nah, easy peasy.
I mean, I've been all about internet piracy ever since, I first got Napster, and I was like, this is great. I love this. I'm going to do this forever.
I remember when we first got, like, Cox internet instead of dial-up, the guy that set it up like installed Napster for us and was like, look, you can do this, and we were all like, whoa.
Remember Bleem?
That sounds vaguely
You could
familiar.
buy it at Best Buy. It was an emulator you put on your computer that plays PlayStation 1 discs.
Oh, really?
And Sony was like, you can't fucking sell that. And it was a real product that went to market and existed in stores for like a year. Like a long time. And think about that. Imagine right now if you could be like, yeah, just put this program on your computer and it'll play PlayStation 4 games on any PC you want. Like, that would never even see the light of day, let alone be a product that was purchased and existed, and there were ads for it in magazines and stuff. It's insane that it existed.
It's funny because everyone was just so clueless on what was happening. Like, even the companies making games, they didn't understand that. Wait, what?
That's like what happened with Atari too, right? Where like their very first system, they like didn't make it was open, like anyone could just make a game for Atari, so they started making a bunch of knockoffs.
There was nothing but garbage on it, and so no one trusted anything.
Yeah, because you didn't know whether or not you were buying a legit game or not.
Yeah, Bleem, you could play Dreamcast and PS1 games on your PC, and then someone was like, hey, all they did was just like gut our stuff and emulate it and put it on this disc, and now they're selling it, and then like they got shut down immediately, obviously. But like the idea that even made it to market and existed as long as it did, was purchasable for as long as it was, seems absolutely insane by today's standards.
Matthew, see, I pirate all my media. Anything else but 1080p Blu-ray rips and HDTV rips are for suckers. I agree with that. Although I will get 720p rips, but the real suckers and the people that are ruining it for everyone are, especially like with stuff like Cody. The people that like watch
every time you say that, I think you're talking about E-Dog. Every fucking time.
People that watch like cam versions of stuff, like
yeah.
where it's just like someone just filming the theater, or
That's
or even,
still a thing?
Yeah, and people watch it. Like dumbasses will watch it.
And they're like, it wasn't that bad. You can hear most of it. And I'm like, I don't ever want to watch a fucking movie where I can hear most of it.
Those people just want to be like, I'm watching All Eyes on Me. Did I pick that? Was that a... Why'd I pick All Eyes on Me out of any other movie? Why'd I pick All Eyes on Me? I don't know. That's for you to chew on. But I just want to tell everyone, I watched All Eyes on Me at home. It's like, not really. You watched the fucking camcorder rip of a movie. That's bullshit. That is for suckers. Just wait for the fucking Blu-ray rip if you want to watch it. Go screw. Fucking hate people like that.
Go screw.
Or they'll get like, I guess you'll get a telesync. That's when like
those aren't very good either.
They're not good either. Yeah,
they're not as bad as a cam.
It's usually still kind of a cam, but it's done by like the projectionist, and the audio is like directly in, like it's somehow feeding the audio into it or some shit. But still, yeah, it's garbage. They're ruining the piracy scene for everyone by watching that shit and supporting that shit. Ugh, fucking hate it. You gotta have some sort of integrity, right, Mike?
Sounds like it. Sounds like I'm in a room with two real fucking upstanding people. They know how to pirate things, right?
I remember, when did Titanic come out? It was like 98 or something?
98 or 9.
I remember my friend's older brother bought one of those VHS versions, like just in the city or whatever. And I remember we'd always call it Itani because it didn't get the full screen in. So when the title came up, it just said Itani.
Itani, that's fantastic.
Was it two VHSs?
I think it absolutely was. Yeah, it was a little 2 VHSs and just some dude filming. And then you see the people's heads as they get up to like go to the bathroom or whatever, and the audio shit, and it's just someone filming the movie.
That's funny.
Let's see. What can we do before we finish out here? Since we've had a great discussion on stealing.
Let's listen to more Daddy Yankee.
No. Let's never do that.
You know what? We should talk about this fucking kid that died in North Korea or whatever.
Isn't it fucking horrible? How have we not done anything about this?
Well, but what's insane is that I see a lot of people that are like, now white people I don't want to care. But
you run in the worst circles, Jim.
I really do.
You always hear and see all these things that I...
Well, honestly, a lot of it, I mean, I know it's anecdotal, but a lot of it's either people on my feed or I'll click on a hashtag, and these are the popular... Like, usually when I click on a hashtag, the first things that come up are the more popular things.
Never clicked on a hashtag once in my life. I can't imagine something I want to do less than click on a hashtag.
But the thing is, but a lot of people are acting like... No one cared about this kid when he first got arrested. I mean, we talked about this story. For people that don't know, it's Otto Wambier. He tried to steal a flag as like a goof, and he's just some dumb frat kid or whatever. Or someone asked him to take it, something, and he got caught in North Korea, so, he got sentenced to hard labor. And I remember I was kind of fine with goofing on him at the time because it's kind of like...
We all agreed that it was a dumb thing to do, but that by no means does the punishment fit the crime.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I would get the argument of people being like, that's your ignorance. You can't just go to some other country, and especially a place like that where you should know better and think you're going to fuck around. Like, I don't necessarily believe that, but I understood that, and I was fine with goofing on him.
I also kind of thought he'd be out in a couple months, you know?
Yeah, once he gets sent back, like last week he was just in a coma. When he got sent back in a coma, and then he like died. But then there's still people are like, you should know better, bro. And it's like, are you serious? It's a little fucking different now that he just died because he tried to take a flag from like
it's insane, no matter what color or what person or anything, to go to another country, do something very tame, regardless of how against the law it happens to be, and then just die. You die, and right now it seems like I don't even know if I made a joke. I might have just been serious, but I was like, how on earth has Trump not just like turned this into a joke? That seems like such a Trump thing to do. Like, hey, motherfuckers that I already hate, I finally have an excuse to fucking go after you guys because you killed one of my people.
Nobody will go after North Korea.
Why?
It's just kind of like not worth it.
And also, they're like, China kind of has them in their pocket. So.
But they killed someone.
Yeah.
Big story today. A community says its final goodbyes to a young man who so many say will be greatly missed. I want you to take a look at the show of support for Wyoming native Otto Warmbier. It's the view from Chopper 9 as hundreds of people lined the streets as Warmbier's casket was escorted from Wyoming High School to the cemetery.
And a lot of it is to like, I mean, not to do the old like, oh, poor white people, but it's because he's like, you don't really care because he's a white dude. Well, not you, but like a lot of people don't really care because it's just some white guy.
If it was like a young black girl and the same thing happened.
I mean, it's not like we would necessarily go to war or anything, but there would be a lot more outcry, I feel, at least on social media and on the internet.
Well, and then they'd say, well, you'd care more if it was a white kid. And then
they would say that, yeah.
And then it's like people care and they're like, see, this is why.
And honestly, like, and this is kind of maybe on the line of like, I don't see color. I'm not saying that, but I honestly wasn't. I was just thinking that some poor kid died for being an idiot. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like, yeah, he's an idiot. And like, number one, who wants to even go there? But number two, when you're there, like, why are you not on like your best behavior? Like, just doing customer voice to everyone, acting like you're in retail and fucking being the most polite person.
It's not somewhere I'd go to goof around.
Dude, the climate nowadays, that's how I feel, though. I feel like I don't see color. Or like I don't see gender or color or anything because of the climate of how crazy people are. It never even occurs to me to link anything like that to some of the stuff nowadays that people immediately jump to. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even like. I guess I knew it was a white kid, or I knew it was an Asian guy, like I did. But that to me had no bearings on anything. But everyone is like, they're just lying in wait so quickly. Like to immediately like attribute that to being important. It's insane how tolerant I feel at times.
Yeah, and I know a lot of these are definitely more on the fringe side of thinking, like as far as having no sympathy. But it's enough. Like I said, like I going through, and I know some of it's Twitter, and you can find anything on Twitter. But again, these are more of like the more popular things coming up. I want to find one of these articles I saw someone share on Facebook though. Where is it? Oh, yeah. You gonna learn today on the revocation of white privilege in North Korea. And then white people made a comedy about North Korea. Now they want sympathy for Otto Wambier. So they're like somehow equating it to that Seth Rogen movie somehow.
Oh, well, you know how like, all white people got together and like, hey, Seth, can you write this movie for us? It represents us.
Did you did a white person write that first thing that you go and learn?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But let me see. Maybe
so I was going to call them a piece of shit for appropriating.
Yeah, some fucking appropriating piece of shit.
Making fun of the way black people speak.
But I did reply to that one, and I just put... black people made a horror film about racism, and now they want sympathy. Because to me, it's the same as someone being mad about a black guy being shot by the cops and being like, "Whoa, black people, didn't you make Get Out? Are you serious right now? And now you want to get sympathy?"
You gotta admit, that's pretty heinous.
You made a horror film.
You made a horror film.
And yeah, there's a trigger warning on this article. There's nothing funny about North Korea. Firing squads in North Korea aren't funny. Political censorship, social oppression of civilians is not funny. But despite these violations, white Hollywood execs managed to sink lower than low and satirize concentration camps of North Korea with The Interview. And then that somehow goes into how this kid's dead and how, like, that's what we get.
Cinema has never made light of something serious before.
Yeah, and it's never been to a point to, like...
Inglourious Bastards doesn't exist.
And not that, like, that movie's some big, champion of freedom or whatever, but there was somewhat of a point to be like, remember, like, isn't it weird that this is a thing in the world? Isn't there weird that there are places like this?
Hot nat sound.
Wait, is this for Star Wars or Otto Wambier?
About 15 miles away in Marymount, bells rang in honor of Warmbier. The college student was imprisoned in North Korea. He died.
I thought college kids didn't like warm beer.
Otto Warmbier was laid to rest, surrounded by family.
Oh, got him.
Thank you.
Fucking got him.
Thank you.
That's where we find Not on Your Sides. Brianna Harper.
Normally when college kids are standing in line around the corner, it's for cold beer.
I'm trying to see one of these if they talked about the torture. Like, Didn't they say he came back blind too?
There was like I heard a rumor that like they like tortured him with drugs, but I didn't read an article about it, so I was just like, okay.
Of course, here's an article about a college professor. He got what he deserved, says this person.
Yeah.
In what North Korean news is.
And I know this is fringe shit, and of course it's like I assume it's a college.
It's on USA Today.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like
the opinion. I
just mean like you can find someone out there that's gonna like we bring this up a lot. You can always find someone with a shitty opinion.
You can always find an Alex Jones.
Although if this person is like, he's a professor, so it should have more weight. He should have a better opinion. Kathy Detwiller, an anthropology professor, wrote, he was typical of a mindset of a lot of the young, white, rich, clueless males who come into my classes. These are the same kids who cry about their grades because they didn't think they'd really have to read and study the material to get a good grade. His parents ultimately are to blame for his growing up thinking he'd get away with whatever he wanted. Maybe in the U.S. where young, white, rich, clueless white male. Like, how many times are you going to say white, you fucking dumb bitch, who's probably white, by the way, get away with raping women?
No, see, this lady's a giant piece of shit because she's decided to take this kid who died and be like, you know what? I'm going to make this about me.
Yeah.
Because everything in that fucking sentence was clearly, and I'm not even saying it's wrong or right, it's her agenda. She has an agenda, and
Jim,
she's
you don't
like,
need to Google her. There's no way a woman named Kathy is black.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. She's just some fucking white lady with her stupid poodle.
Yeah, she's applying her agenda
exactly what you think
to a tragedy because she wants everyone to pay attention to her dumb garbage. And she's like, well, I have a flimsy pretext on how they could be connected. I'll do it.
Well, and plus, if you want to talk about people that whine about their grades in their school, what's going on at that fucking school where everyone's whining about that teacher? The one where the guy was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have a day where white people have to stay home. Isn't that a little weird? And they're like, fuck you, racist.
Whoa, what? What is this?
I saw that headline. I didn't read it.
Well, you shared the video. You shared the Vice video, didn't you, Kristin?
No.
I thought you shared it in the Discord.
No, not at all.
Oh, someone else must have shared it then. I thought you did.
No.
I haven't even heard about this.
What the fucking school is it again? Yeah, well, and there's this guy, like, I mean, he's pretty much an SJW himself, but, you know, usually they'll have a day of absence where, like, say, minorities or someone will stay home just to prove, like, you know, hey, if all the black people stayed home, look what you get, or all the Mexicans or whatever, like, they're valuable to society. So the school, like, some of the kids in the school were like, we want to do it different. We want white people to stay home and respect us. And he was like, isn't that a little weird? That's kind of like racist, isn't it? And then they were like,
but he's a white guy, so everyone's like, fuck you!
Oh, it was Eddie. Eddie shared it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought Kristin shared it. And yeah, everyone was like, fuck you, racist. And they started cucking out the fucking dean.
Wow,
let me pull it up real quick.
That's insane.
Yeah, Evergreen. Thank you, chat. Let me pull it up real quick. But I know this is kind of off tangent, but it just reminds, because this lady's talking about people complaining, like, all college kids are babies for the most part. Not just fucking rich, white, affluenza kids. Yeah, this one here.
Fuck you and fuck the police!
Last month, Evergreen State College in Washington.
Dude, listen to when these kids are yelling at the dean.
That kid yelled, and then everyone fucking clapped.
Because they're saying, like, they should be cursing and sounding stupid because they're dealing with, like, I don't know, garbage. Like, because to them, they're fighting evil.
Went crazy when a professor of evolutionary biology named Brett Weinstein objected to a day of absence when white students and faculty were asked to voluntarily leave campus. Weinstein branded it a form of racial segregation. A group of student protesters called him a racist. The confrontation incited further protests. Debates over free speech.
Can you imagine being a normal kid that has to go to college nowadays, and you're just like fucking walking through this minefield of psychopaths that have just been like, hey, it's so fucking normalized here at these campuses to act like a lunatic that, like, you start wondering if you're being like outnumbered at points in time. You're like, I just want to go to class, and there's all these fucking crazy people.
You're like an adult going back to school.
Yeah, you're trying to get your.
What have I done?
But the thing, what you have to do, you just have to be like, yeah, these teachers are racist. Like, that's kind of because so you'll be like just doing your homework in the library, and they're like, "Hey, this fucking guy's racist, right?" And you're like, "Yeah."
It's got to be the closest thing to, like, if the internet just became the world, is just like being on a college campus right now.
Systemic racism on campus, and things haven't calmed down. Tomorrow, Evergreen will hold its graduation. at an off-campus location, 40 miles away.
Would you like to hear the answer or not?
No! Okay.
This is the video, viewed by millions, that put Evergreen State and Weinstein in the national spotlight.
This is not a discussion. You have lost that one.
This is not a discussion. You've lost that one.
Yeah, you've lost that one.
So what are they doing here if they don't want to talk to you?
Well, this is part and parcel of their central mode. They're just simply shutting down somebody that they don't want to hear from.
I am not interested in debate. I am interested only in dialectic, which does mean I listen to you and you listen to me.
It's a bunch of white kids too. Like, well, and it's funny because these kids put these videos up because they think like everyone's gonna know, like everyone's gonna see how right we are, and most people are like, "Fuck you."
And then a smart guy or a normal person's like, "Whoa, look at these fucking lunatics."
Years, he describes himself as deeply progressive, but has been denounced as a racist tool of the alt-right by some students and faculty. Weinstein objected to the day of absence in a formal protest email to colleagues.
This is what got him riled up.
One's right to speak or to be must never be based on skin color. Calls for
what a racist! Fuck this man!
Well, and the reason why he's racist is because saying that like, because their belief is more so because of white supremacy, people of color's voices should be higher, and you should, if you're not a person of color, you should shut up. Like, that's kind of the idea. Like, that's
why does any of that matter? Why does it matter at all?
Because white supremacy, Mike, and Trump's America,
systemic racism.
And then that's the thing. It's kind of like everyone's like overeducated in a weird way, where they kind of don't really know what they're talking about, but they do. Like, they know how to twist out of an argument rather than have a discussion.
They're smart enough to argue, but they're crazy enough to argue about awful things.
But then they're also smart enough to know, like, when they don't have a good point, that they just to tell, like, when he's like, "Do you want to hear my answer?" and they're like, "No."
Yeah.
Like they know they don't have a good counter argument, so they just opt out.
And it's why you come up with ways to say like only white people can be racist because of systemic racism, and then you turn it into, well, not just systemic racism. Racism itself requires a power level, so like people of color can't be racist because they don't have power, and white people have power. Like, you have to do these fucking weird jump through hoops and gymnastics and change things.
Make a lot of assumptions. It seems like
just so you don't have to answer questions.
Way they constructed this.
I just want to see the
dean.
And I know like saying cuck is like such a dumb thing, but the dean is such a cuck. Like, he is a. There's no other way to put it. He's a cuck.
That you were not an ally. And I feel like I am an ally to people of color in their attempt to gain equity.
I like how he's a Jew, and they're like, "Fuck you! Your skin is a different color, though.
Well,
it doesn't matter if you're like one of the white people that like has been oppressed almost as much as we have been. Fuck you, white man."
Wow, Mike, did you just assume a man named Weinstein was a Jew because of his curly hair?
No, his name and his nose.
Yeah, he does look Jewy, and he has a Jewy name.
He has a Jewy name, and he looks like a Jewish person.
But it does work out.
You're a real racist.
But everything checks out because he is Jewish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We just wanted to be like, until you're accountable for these actions, you don't get to teach
and
students at Evergreen.
This girl looks exactly like you expect her to look.
She really fucking does.
You mean Kelly Osbourne?
Jesus
this problematic rhetoric and instill it in students.
Yes, you're disrupting my class.
So at this point, we would like Brett to be fired. But that isn't happening. The administration is refusing to take action. They're choosing to protect this white, cis male professor over its students.
Later that day, the students...
When people talk like that for real, Jim, like, your characters are infuriating enough, but when you hear someone that you know means it, like, I know you don't mean it, so I was like, whatever. But, like, when people say it and they mean it, it's so infuriating.
Well, they, like, surrounded his classroom, and they were, like, a harassing student. Like, if students just went to his class, they would harass them because they want him to be fired, and they don't want anyone to...
Do they not understand the insane, like, obvious hypocrisy of all this?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it's so fucking surface level that it's like there's nothing subtle about it. I can't believe that none of them can fucking look in the mirror for 1 second and immediately like, be like, whoa, what are we doing?
Well, it's a bummer because they like picked such the wrong... Like,
of course,
you can't really deny that, like, systemic racism at a really, really high level is a thing.
Sure,
like,
sure it is.
And like, but then you pick this argument, where this guy is like on your side, and you tear him down, and that's what makes everyone think you're fucking psychopath, and that your arguments are invalid. Because then when you try to argue something realistic, people are like, oh yeah, and fucking fuck this guy, right?
You see it with feminism
a
lot.
On that? Yeah, exactly.
Like they choose the worst times to die on a hill, and it's like, no, this exists. Why are you mad at that guy? Be mad at those people.
And it's even
Be this mad at those people instead.
That's what's happening with the Trump stuff too, where people will pick something dumb that he did, and it's like, who gives a fuck if Ivanka's like working out of China? Don't worry about that. Worry about all this other shit that's going on.
Yeah, just
fight those battles.
Yeah, you eat your own, make yourself look foolish, negate your whole argument, and also show that, like, there should be a discussion about systemic racism and how to work towards a better place. But yeah, all this does is set it back, and it makes it look like it's not a real thing.
Yeah, the bullseye in the middle of that discussion shouldn't be this fucking guy.
Held a raucous meeting at which they presented a list of demands, including the disarming of campus police and mandatory sensitivity training for all faculty.
Now, see, look, all this, it's all, everyone has their dumb agenda. They find something that has a passable comparison to it. So then everyone from all these different groups that have nothing to do with this or care about this go like, hey, you know what this reminds me of? The thing I care about. And then it's fucking completely muddled and lost immediately. It's everyone. These are all selfish people that don't give a shit about anything that they're claiming to care about. They care about their one dumb thing, and they see a thing, and they're like, "Hey, this will help me put my thing up on the same level."
Well, and honestly, and a lot of these people, like, not to say that no one here is oppressed, but clearly most of these kids, even the people of color, come from more of a stance of privilege. I mean, just being at college alone,
literally going to school has some level of that.
And there's more of a want, because if they're hearing all this stuff and they're hearing about this oppression, they kind of want it more. So they're very excited because this is kind of like, in their minds, it's oppression, and like, finally we have a thing that we could say that we're oppressed about, we could yell about. And
it's the money thing. It's like when someone is like, wow, you have a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. I wish I was as lucky as you. And you're sitting there going like, I'm not lucky. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck you. Well, you know what? I stole one of them. like all of a sudden you're like I
had to work 160 hours a week for this.
Yeah, you're defensive about your success because some asshole tried to make you feel bad about having it.
Point on which the protesters and Weinstein agree. Evergreen's embattled president George Bridges has mishandled the crisis.
I think their concerns are legitimate. They're articulating ideas that
fuck off.
Race, ethnicity, power,
listen to what
privilege,
happened.
and we're taking a look at them.
That's my problem, George. You keep doing these little hand movements or whatever.
Come through.
People were criticizing you for using.
Yeah, they're saying that his hand movements were like either
microaggressions.
Yeah, they were microaggressions.
Fucking kill me.
And, you know,
Fucking kill me with poison. Poison me, Jim. Poison me so that I die.
But the noise has been effective.
No, fuck you, George. We don't want to hear a goddamn thing you have to say.
So you want to watch that door?
Can you imagine a world where you go to school and then the dean's like, hello,
you.
everybody. And you're like, fuck off. If you fucking talk to me again, I'll...
And not like Dean Hallerman or whatever his last name, just, hey, George, what's up? Go fuck yourself.
Call him by his first name and tell him to fucking shut the fuck up.
Hey, George, you piece of shit. Give me whatever I want. And yeah, this is where they're like blocking all the exits and shit.
Watch the windows. You need to keep eyes on them. And somebody needs to go in that room real quick to make sure that there's no way to get out from them.
I mean, essentially said it
because we're gonna murder them.
Held
we're all
hostage there
with our cool guns.
If you're going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's like, I have to pee, and they're like, hold it, or they decide that he can go because they're gonna have two people go with him to like make sure he's not gonna go anywhere or something like that.
Nah, someone's gonna Danny Phantom that room.
What scary fucking like third world country micro environment has been created at these fucking schools?
Bathroom, you had to go with two escorts. Is that true?
That's what the students felt was true. I was going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like to him, he's like, well, I mean, I went to the bathroom.
I mean, I let these scary teenagers tell me what to do, but hey, what am I, a fucking piece of shit pussy asshole? I only run a college. I'm going to listen to all these fucking losers.
Said if you want to go to the bathroom, I was going to go to the bathroom regardless. And they
no, you weren't, you fucking liar.
No, you waited.
Why what?
Why did they want to escort you to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Did you ask them?
No, of course not.
No, of course not. Of course not. They're terrifying.
The situation on campus grew even more inflamed after Weinstein went on Fox News. The protesters say his appearance provoked threats from the alt-right.
Although Brett has not personally said, you know, go out and attack these students, go out and threaten these students, that has been the result of his actions. He has incited white supremacists and he has validated white supremacists and Nazis in our community and in the nation. And
you're doing that to him.
Well, the thing I was going to say is, if anyone's validating them, it's her.
Yeah, she's the one that it's inciting people and validating people to go like way too far.
I'm not saying they deserve to be threatened or anything, but like they're clearly being so unreasonable that it's solidified. Like that person could be like, yeah, because then now they're like, see, this is what we're fighting. This is why we're out there or whatever.
I don't think that should be protected by free speech.
We received a threat saying that people
this is
come
where
here
they
and
talk about fuck free speech and fuck hate speech or whatever.
execute every single person
Yeah.
I see on campus at that point.
Yeah.
Fuck free speech.
When we're dead, when people die, and you're sitting here like, well, at least they got to practice their free speech.
This whole room is exactly.
Of course, this room is all here. This is the fucking room. This is the goddamn room that's having this discussion. Of course,
this is the brain trust.
This is the fucking. Of course, look at this room.
And students on this campus. Hate to break it to you.
Oh, look at this room snapping.
Look at this
Look
room.
at this fucking room.
And there really are people out there that think like hate speech is against the law or something like that.
Look at that
Look
portrait.
at this fucking room.
Look at it. It's exactly.
Look at them snapping at that point. Look at this fucking room.
And you hear they're talking like they want their lives to be in danger. Like that to them, it's kind of like, oh.
Well, if they don't, they wouldn't have anything to fucking talk about.
It's their like validation. Like we're getting death threats. Yes.
This is like they think they're doing the freedom rides. Like they think this is like they're
Yes.
fucking riding to Montgomery on a
Yeah.
bus, like fighting the good fight. This is what they think they're doing.
They're like, hey, how do people like us dress? And they're like, I guess like this. Like no one woke up and chose that. They're all fucking characters. They're actors in real life.
You telling me you don't think that girl picked her Beetlejuice pants on her own?
Oh yeah, that's
think that's a
exactly
facade?
what she has.
I fucking hate this so much.
The protests have been effective, but it's unclear if they're widely supported. Many students told us that they've been hesitant to publicly dissent. Kristin, who also didn't want us to use
because
her
these
language.
lunatics will like.
Kirsten, who is a normal fucking adult trying to finish her business degree.
This normal person who's in college is afraid to say they don't agree because they won't be allowed to leave their dorm, or they'll go to their car and there will be bees inside.
Well, and it's great because
oh no, the protesters they filled my car with bees because I didn't agree with them.
Well, and that room we just saw are the ones that are like, you know, fuck your free speech when you want to threaten us and make us feel unsafe. But meanwhile, they'll be like pushing this girl's car back and forth.
They're scaring people like constantly.
And scaring the shit out of them and you know, threatening them with violence.
Last name is one of Weinstein's students.
I'm afraid of having a nuanced opinion because I'm afraid that my opinions and I will be stigmatized.
It's a rather strange sentence to hear on a university campus. I'm fearful of my nuanced opinion.
So I feel that I do not have the ability to speak if I have disagreements with the methods that are being used in the protests.
There is this issue of what I can say and what I can't say and who's going to dismiss me or demean me for saying it. And that is new.
That's
in
why
the
I've decided to be such a turtle-faced piece of shit about this whole thing.
That's why I'm choosing to be a, how you say, cuck. I just want to be a cuck all the time.
I've decided to let my dick recede inside me, and until further notice, it will stay there.
You told me that you're a white supremacist.
I'm assuming that students have said lots of things about me. I don't
Did you
believe
see that
I
fucking
am.
face? He's like, oh, these are the people I'm afraid of? This is why. This is why I'm afraid of them, sir.
Every question, this guy is a deer in headlights because he's so afraid.
Well, he's like, well, I can't respond because then they'll attack me more.
I believe you are, but you accept that you might be.
No, Well, it depends on what you mean by a white supremacist. What does that mean? I'm a white person.
That's not a good answer.
No, but that's how afraid he is. He's afraid of admitting that he's not a white supremacist because he's like, well, shit, if I say I'm not, is that like, do these psycho kids think that it's good to not be one or bad to be one? Like, I don't even know what they could mean. They're saying they hate free speech, so maybe they love white supremacy?
Well, he's at the point where he's like, well, I guess I'm white and I'm the dean, so... And I
do
think
they mean it literally?
He really does say that, I think.
He's scared to death of reacting in any way because he knows that their opinions have become so insane that he doesn't know if an obvious thing is as obvious as it truly is.
A privilege.
Okay. I guess that's part of the confusion for me is the precision of language seems to be lost in a lot of this conversation.
It is.
Bridges has acceded to many of the students' demands, but there's a demand he hasn't given into, that Weinstein be fired. Weinstein won't rule out the possibility that he's...
I mean, I'll give him that. They haven't fired this guy. I mean, they shouldn't.
Well, yeah, but he's he's basically like, hey, we're gonna let the fucking inmates run the prison, but you know what, Warden? You're not fired. You're allowed to live in this fucking chaos.
About his last
He
class
probably just has
at
tenure and they can't fire him.
Yeah.
Evergreen.
The prisoners are
But
in
if he comes
charge,
back
but the
to teach
security
next
staff
semester,
still
we can
hired.
expect the protest to continue.
I don't care what happens to Brett anymore. He can go and be racist and be a piece of shit wherever he wants to do that.
Yeah, that professor's a racist piece of shit because he said, you know what, maybe we shouldn't say all white people should stay home next week.
Well, and he didn't even say that. He said, I don't think that the color of your skin should dictate any, like, he said it in like such a fucking tolerant way too.
And I think they did do the day and he just worked and like...
You're white. Well, I'm Jewish too.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, whitey. Be a piece of shit anywhere you want. Hold on, let me put my bandana on.
And it's like, yeah, you can go be racist and a piece of shit on your own time. Oh, can I put my jacket down and show off my kick-ass tats? what is she
Hold on,
doing?
I need to go watch the Hunger Games because I'm a fucking resident of the Capitol.
Yeah, look at my kick-ass bandana so I can cover my face and spray people with mace and do fucked up shit. All in the name of fighting evil.
I don't care what happens to Brett anymore. He can go and be racist and be a piece of shit wherever he wants to do that. Hopefully, long term, we can just weed out people like Brett.
At this point,
and that's such a nondescript. Like that's a person with no opinion. Yeah. Because you know what you say about someone who you just like, they're bad. They're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He can go be a piece of shit like that. That's like saying like, you know what I think that is? I think that's interesting. Like the word interesting is kind of like. It's kind of like a bland word that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
To the way she's just like, yeah, he can go be a piece of shit anyway. Like, well, why is he a piece of shit? Oh, because he's always being a piece of shit.
Well, you know how dangerous it sounds when someone says, hopefully we could just weed out people like that.
Oh,
like,
no, that's completely lost on her, Jim.
Like, yeah.
That could not be more lost on her than anything in the world.
Like, how does she not get that she's just that person? Like, that
hopefully
person
Jewish
like,
scholars like him can just be weeded out in the future.
Or it's like, oh, interracial couples, hopefully in the future we can weed out people like that. Oh, no, it's Jeff's yaps.
Oh.
Rape is back in the streets. Easy tickets and Draco. Yeah.
Jim, what is happening?
Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I gotta stop. We recorded too long. We started getting into Jeff's...
That scared the shit out of me.
It scared me as well.
I was like, Jim, what did you secretly plan? Where I can hear Jeff just be like, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that really startled me. Whoa.
That scared me too. I was like, is everyone else feeling?
At least it was his quiet yaps.
All right, let me try to record it now because we've gone for so long. It's even though something's at the beginning. Yeah. There it goes. It starts doing it again. All right, I'll have to just pull the recording off the video. I can't record in this program anymore because fucking Jeff's yaps are taking over.
The dream of Jeff's yaps are in the future that people like us will be weeded out and only Jeff's yaps remain.
That was like a perfect moment for it to come in.
That was terrifying. That was fucking so scary.
Oh, Jesus.
See, the unexpected is scary.
Need a hasty retreat and say, there's no point in doing this.
Frankly, every student in that hallway who had chosen to make that protest has a clue about where they're going wrong. But I think that my standing there did some good.
Dude, listen to him. He's saying all the right things. He's like, they know what they're doing.
Like, you still...
A part of them is right because they should care about protesting things, but they all also know what they're doing. They know why they're doing this. They know the agenda they have. They know what is wrong and right about what they claim is only right. Like he's like, I know that as much as they know that, so I'm not even going to feed into it.